What up, Ring Crew Army? You're listening to a brand new episode of the Square Circle Podcast. I am your host, Marie Shadows, and on this episode of the Square Circle Podcast, we're right back at it with giving English commentary to Night 2 of the Road to Castle Attack. For some reason, the English commentary will be added at a later date to the Road to Castle Attack series. So I decided to train myself in English commentary to prepare for the day that I can be on commentary and help out in the back, just help out in the professional wrestling world as best as I can. And that's what I do with New Japan Pro Wrestling matches. I try to give as much story as possible when it comes to Bullet Club and Chaos members, and I also do adequate enough research to try to get that story out to you guys, the fans who may not be so interested in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But if I can offer any type of value in what I do and you guys enjoy it, that means the world to me. If you are brand new to the podcast, the Square Circle Podcast talks about New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Elite Wrestling, and Impact Wrestling. And this special episode is the English commentary towards Night 2. So what I will be covering are two matches. The first match is going to be a 6-man tag. We have Yuya Uemura with G.o.D and Yoshihashi. Yuya, who is a young lion, so he's getting to tag with two Chaos members in this match. They're taking on Bullet Club members Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, who make up the Gorillas of Destiny, and G.o.D. So this will just be part one of that, and then the other match I will go over and provide English commentary for an 8-man tag that featured Bullet Club members Chase Owen, Evil, Jay White, and Dick Togo, facing Chaos members Okada, Yano, Ishii, with Sho on their side. But for now, we are covering the first match, and it seems like my integration with the backstage comments have to wait a little while longer, so you guys won't be getting my backstage comments along with these matches. So if you are completely new, because I am putting this podcast episode up on my YouTube channel, Square Circle Podcast over on YouTube. If you are new, here is the format. I love breaking down the matches, so I write a lot of notes in my notebook, and I do play-by-play, and I also insert story elements so you understand why certain wrestlers do certain moves and have the psychology behind their moves and the storytelling in the ring. And then when it comes to the New Japan Pro Wrestling backstage comments, that you can go watch on New Japan World over on YouTube, and also their other channel called New Japan Pro Wrestling. You can watch the English ones there as well. So I take all my notes, give you all the feedback, and then I include those backstage segments to help progress the stories. So if you are completely brand new to New Japan Pro Wrestling, I help make your life a little bit easier with letting you know what stories are hot and how you should follow along and what you should know, and try to get you immersed into the New Japan Pro Wrestling side. So that is exactly what this podcast is going to offer you. We're going to go over these two matches. I do this to the best of my ability because I do not know Japanese, but I can get some references from certain words that I understand and certain contexts that I can probably read. However, bear with me, everything is a work in progress, and this is just to help my talents grow so I can offer my skills to the world of professional wrestling. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into the first match. Yuya, who is a young lion, starts this match off against G.o.D. There is a strong lockup in the beginning. G.o.D tests this young lion's strength, and he pushes the young lion into the ropes. There is a break, and G.o.D tries to go for a swing, and he misses. Yuya then capitalizes with forearms, a kick, and a body slam to G.o.D. G.o.D and Yoshi come into the ring and knock down the Gorillas of Destiny, who are Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, who are on the ring apron. G.o.D and Yoshi team up with Yuya to do their patented windmill forearm attack on G.o.D's back, and then the one to Tama, and then also Loa gets one as well. G.o.D comes in with a shoulder tackle to Yuya, then forearms to the lower back. G.o.D throws Yuya out on the outside for Tama Tonga to attack him, and then Tama just throws him back in. Loa gets the tag in and does a body slam to Yuya. Yuya fights back against Bullet Club. Tama and G.o.D are holding Yuya in the corner while Loa punches and stomps away on the young lion. Loa does a short arm clothesline and picks up Yuya and does a running power slam, goes for a pin attempt only to have G.o.D break it up, and Loa takes out both Yoshi and G.o.D. There's a tag to Tama, who now does a suplex to Yuya, and Yuya comes back with forearms, yet Tama Tonga sidesteps Yuya's dropkick and sidesteps another dropkick from the young lion until Tama Tonga gets caught on the third dropkick from Yuya. G.o.D now gets the tag, and he comes in with forearms to Tama Tonga. Loa comes in and stops it, and Irish whips G.o.D into the corner and tries to get a clothesline on G.o.D. However, G.o.D ducks and gives Tama a clothesline in the opposite corner. And with that momentum, he comes right back at Loa to give him a clothesline as well. And then decides to knock down G.o.D off the apron. G.o.D comes in with a leaping heel kick to Tama, who is still in the corner, and follows it up with a bulldog combination. Tama kicks out at 2. Yoshi and G.o.D come in with double shoulder blocks to Loa, and then G.o.D assisted Yoshihashi in a high hip toss onto Loa. G.o.D comes in with a clothesline to Tama, then sends Tama to Yoshi for a chop. Then Tama escapes G.o.D's fireman's carry to deliver a dropkick to both G.o.D and Yoshi. Now we have a shift in power as we get a triple team attack by Tama, Loa, and G.o.D onto Yoshihashi. Tama comes in with a punch to Yoshi's gut. G.o.D comes in with a kick. Loa comes in with a back body drop. And G.o.D comes in to break up the attempted pin over Yoshihashi. So that way, Bullet Club does not win this match. G.o.D gets Yoshi in the ropes to do a hanging DDT. G.o.D goes for the pin attempt, and Yoshihashi kicks out at 2. Then G.o.D tries to use a kendo stick, but Yuya comes in with a fierce drop kick. Tama does a shoulder block to Yuya. Then G.o.D does the Ushigoroshi onto Tama Tonga, which is an elevated shoulder neck breaker, which you'll see him put the wrestler in the fireman's carry and then toss him over and make sure that his knee makes contact where his opponent's neck and shoulder blade area is at. So that's what a Ushigoroshi is. Loa comes in with a code breaker to G.o.D. Yoshihashi comes in with a super kick to Loa and then a lariat to G.o.D. Yoshihashi goes for the pin over G.o.D. However, G.o.D kicks out, and then Yoshi places the butterfly lock onto G.o.D. And this is where G.o.D taps out, and the victory goes to Chaos. This match was definitely a fun little opener, and congrats to Yuya for teaming up with Chaos and taking on the Gorillas of Destiny along with G.o.D. So in the upcoming weeks, there's still going to be more fighting between Chaos and Bullet Club, specifically G.o.D and Yoshi and the Gorillas of Destiny, until we get to Osaka and have Castle Attack. That is where the match card is going to get interesting. Night 1 will have these guys in singles competition. So it's going to be Yoshihashi versus Tonga Loa, then G.o.D versus Tama Tonga. And these are going to be interesting matchups because they are fighting one-on-one rather than fighting in a tag team. So the psychology and the strategy behind their performances may play a part in who gets the upper hand and who definitely gets the victory. Obviously, I'm Team Bullet Club all the way. So Tonga Loa is going to get the victory over Yoshihashi, and then Tama Tonga is going to get the victory over G.o.D. The last time that I hyped up a Bullet Club versus Chaos match, it did not do so well. If you guys want to go back into my back catalog on anchor.fm/Square Circle Podcast, I was reviewing all of the Road to the New Beginning series. And then once we got to the New Beginning series, it was a 6-man tag. Jay White, Tama Tonga Loa taking on Yoshihashi, Goto, and Ishii for their 6-man never open weight championships. And boy, was I wrong. I hyped it up so much that I said that Bullet Club was going to win, have some more gold on the Bullet Club side, but that didn't happen. And now we're here having singles matches against these guys. And then for night 2, it's going to be back to tag team action. New Japan Pro Wrestling prides themselves on tag team matches all the time, and that's only because they can show a lot more wrestlers that way rather than keep doing one-on-one matches, because they have a certain time limit to be within the buildings that they rent in order to produce New Japan Pro Wrestling. So if you're curious about the card for night 2 of Castle Attack, still in Osaka, this is February 28th. We're going to have Chase Owens teaming up with Jay White and Evil, taking on Yano, Ishii, and Okada. And then we're going to have Tama Tonga taking on Yoshihashi and Goto. And also, this is going to be an honorable mention because El Phantasmo has challenged Hiromu for his IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. So that's going to be an honorable mention here on the podcast, and I would definitely be going over that match as well. So I'm just here providing English commentary for the Road to Castle Attack series. And then once we get to Castle Attack, hopefully Kevin Kelly is doing commentary by the time that we get to Osaka. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my play-by-play of night 2, match 1 of the Road to Castle Attack series. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. This will be up on the YouTube side, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like, leave a comment. I want to know what you think about New Japan Pro Wrestling, this match, other matches, other wrestlers. Just let me know. Let's have a conversation about it. You can also follow me on the audio podcast side, anchor.fm/Square Circle Podcast. You can also find me on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts on. Just type in Squared Circle Podcast. I'm also on Twitter @Marie_Shadows. You can definitely chat wrestling with me there. And if you want to take it a step further, I do have a community. It is a newsletter. I'm building my community. Head over to theringcrew.substack.com. A lot more articles are going to be coming based on professional wrestling. What you guys can find there currently is a Jay White article, a Kenny Omega article, and a Young Bucks article. Wrestling is wrestling to me. I love it all. And I do this because I love it and I love talking about wrestling. All right, you have been listening to the Square Circle Podcast. I am your host, Marie Shadows, and I'll see you guys in the next one.